Welcome back, my movie lovers, to another Zedrick the Critic review. I'm Alec Perez, and today we're going to be talking about the Dune movies. But before we begin, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and link the bell to get notified about every ranking of movies coming on this channel. So today we're going to be talking about the Dune movies. Spoiler, I'll be going fully deep into the movies, and if you have not seen the movies yet, I suggest turn off this video, watch the movies, and come back and hear my honest opinion about the review and the ranking of the movies are. Today we're going to be talking about the Dune movies. When I first watched this, I didn't really understand the whole story to it. These movies were based off the 1965 novel of the same name by Frank Herbert. And Frank Herbert wrote these very beautifully. The director really tried to capture every moment in the movies. The way he just did it was just absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking. The visual effects were amazing. Costume design was my favorite thing. But my whole favorite thing in general was the cinematography of how they captured every moment of it. It's beautiful, it's breathtaking, I love it so very much. But enough of that, we'll save that all for later. Let's just talk about the achievements of both movies. So we'll be talking about part one. It's not in theaters at the moment, you can stream it on Max, but I just wanted to bring that one in here since we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Dune movies. The first movie is Dune Part 1. The movie received 83% with critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was a certified fresh tomato, a 90% audience score, and the total achievement 434.8 million worldwide. The first one is actually pretty good, but going into the second one, I think the second one is much better than the first one. Let's talk about the full story to it. So the story starts off with a young prince by the name of Paul Atreides, portrayed by Timothée Chalamet. He has visions of the Freeman people, the outsiders, of a girl named Chani, portrayed by Zendaya. So he belongs to the son of Duke Leto Atreides, who is portrayed by Oscar Isaac, in the House of Atreides. His mother, Lady Jessica, portrayed by Rebecca Ferguson. She has a mentally exotic voice power, so she can say, "Give me a glass of water," and the person that is sitting right next to her will do as she's told. It's the power that she has. A little scary when you think about it. It makes a little bit of sense. But anyways, she has the voice power to control an individual with the tone. She takes her son, Paul Atreides, to the High Mistress Gaius Helpen Mo, portrayed by Charlotte Rampling. In her forecast of this prophecy, she has the vision of Paul Atreides becoming the most high, enduring, powerful person in the history of the world, but goes against the House of Atreides. It's a mix between, do we follow Paul Atreides or do we kill him off? That's not part of the story right here. Like most planets, we have enemies. The House of Harkonnen is what they've been attacking for centuries and centuries. The House of Harkonnen is run by Lord Baron Venemir Harkonnen, portrayed by Stellan Skarsgård. His fighting general, Lazio Raban, portrayed by Dave Bautista, are sentenced to try and hunt and attack and kill the House of Atreides. Leader, Duke Atreides, has gone against them. He wants to commit peace with the Freeman people. They want to bring them to go and attack the House of Harkonnen. But it broke loose. The Harkonnen burned the House of Atreides down to the ground. They killed the king, Duke Atreides, and everything was committed of sophistry. And so it was Paul Atreides and the queen herself that made it alive. The ones that tried to fight off Jason Momoa's character, Duke in Idaho, let them go to carry on and defeat the armies of Harkonnen. Here shown with the Freeman tribe, and Paul Atreides wants to bring peace and be friends with the Freeman people. But in order to do that, he would have to challenge one of their men in order to fight against them. And so he battled it out. He did his training with mentor master Gurney Halleck, portrayed by Josh Brolin. And he did succeed. He defeated him. He killed him. They went alongside with the Freeman people. And that's where it cuts off from part one and goes into Dune part 2. So I would have to say, in this movie, there's not a whole lot of visiting between other planets to the next, but when we get into the second movie, I think they introduce more characters and we're introduced with new places. I'm very excited to get into part 2, but that is the review to Dune part 1, so let's get into Dune part 2. So moving on, let's talk about Dune Part 2. So Dune Part 2 is the one that is released in theaters at the moment. It released on March 1st. I went and saw it about a few weeks ago, and I gotta say, this was the absolute most amazing thing I've seen in 2024 so far. The visual effects were just astonishing. The art department was great, and the visual effects, the cinematography, all those things were just absolutely amazing. I think they are guaranteed to be in the Oscars of next year. But let's talk about the achievement this movie made. The movie received 93% with fresh critics and 95% audience score. As it is still making money in theaters at the moment, I have this already at 217 million worldwide. I would have to say everybody is really talking about this movie. I think it's going to make the $1 billion mark, but who knows? If you guys think I'm right, let me know in the comments. Let's get into the story of behind this movie. It starts off with Paul and Lady Jessica join forces with the Freeman tribe. That's going into what it shows Dune Part 2. The beginning scene, we have a character, Princess Irulan, portrayed by Florence Pugh. She is mentioning how the House Atreides burned to the ground, wanted to see it for herself if it was actually true. She is the one that really cared about the House Atreides. We'll get into the Emperor Sai, who's portrayed by Christopher Walken. He's kind of behind this attack, but like I mentioned, it starts off with Paul Atreides and Lady Jessica join forces with the Freeman tribe. And so they are battling it with the House of Harkonnen. They burned House Atreides down to the ground. Paul Atreides getting revenge on them for killing their father and being the hero that the High Mistress was predicting in the prophecy. Harkonnen, surprisingly, was not part of the attack as the Emperor in the House of Corino. They are ways away. And the House of Corino, I believe, were good friends with the House of Atreides, but gone against them. And the Emperor had sentenced the House of Harkonnen to kill the leader of Atreides. And Paul was learning the ways of becoming the tribe of Freeman. We have certain scenes in there where Paul Atreides is wanting to be exactly how the Freeman tribe wanted them to be. So he learns their ways, rides a wormhole. That creature lurks in the sands. He has to find one, attach it, and ride it. Paul must choose between the love of his life or the prophecy of the universe. So the prophecy of the universe. He is, in the prophecy, supposed to become the leader, high battling Cain in the history of the world. He has that, or can choose the one he loves, Chani, or can be an outsider like the Freeman tribe. He has a lot of thinking right there. And his mother, Lady Jessica, becomes the High Mistress Lady. She drinks the blood of the worm that can give high enduring power. And she was pregnant at the time, a daughter by the name of Alia Atreides. There was a visionary of the daughter grown up in Paul Atreides' dream because he drank the blood of Wormy Hull. This one was portrayed by Anya Taylor-Joy, but anyways, the House of Harkonnen was still battling out, trying to hunt down if Paul Atreides or Lady Jessica was alive. The High Emperor, Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, hired his nephew, Feyd Rautha Harkonnen, portrayed by Austin Butler. He is hired to hunt down Paul Atreides and to burn House of Corino down. The Freeman people broke into the House of Corino and realized of what the Emperor done was horrifically wrong. They wanted to kill him, but they decided that maybe we shouldn't do this. We should take one of your people and we will battle it out. And so Austin Butler's character decided to take the offer and fight Paul Atreides. Paul Atreides couldn't have done it, but he chose to take that path. And they battled it. Fortunately, they technically both died, but Feyd Rautha Harkonnen was actually the one that really died. Paul Atreides was stabbed, but he managed to get back up and fight again if he really needed to. So the Princess Irulan gave him an offer that I would marry you if you don't kill my father. Paul accepted, and Chani was very upset. He was going with the prophecy, falling away from her people. And that is where it cuts off. Paul Atreides goes to the House of Corino to marry off the princess. Chani leaves Paul Atreides behind. That's where it cuts off Dune Part 2. We are rumored that we are getting a Part 3 movie, so I'm very excited of how it's going to be. But that is the end so far to Dune. So let's now talk about how the whole review is and my honest opinion about it. Alright, so what is my overall review on this new trilogy? I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is the new Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was the most amazing thing that has happened in my history of my entire life when it came to watching The Fellowship of the Ring, the cinematography, the art department, the visual effects, the animation, the costume designs, they were just absolutely amazing. The acting was even good too. In this trilogy, everybody just does a great job in it. Timothée Chalamet, the new rising Hollywood next Leonardo DiCaprio, is insanely very talented. And if you have not watched his Wonka movie, go ahead and give that a watch. But let me know in the comments if you guys do want a Wonka Predicts. I would love to do it. Newcomers in Dune Part 2, I have to say, Austin Butler was amazing. Give him the Oscar. He deserves it. He deserves that supporting actor role. I just love it so much. He deserves it. Florence Pugh was even a great actress. They all just gave their excellent performances. But my weaknesses, though, in this movie, I'm going to give it to Christopher Walken. He was just boring. I just kind of wish he did a little bit better and was much more as what an empress is supposed to be. He was like quiet throughout the whole movie. He had no lines in there. I mean, he had lines in there, but they were so bland. I just kind of wish he did a little bit better. Dave Bautista, he was very excellent in Dune Part 2. Even in Dune Part 1. I think I liked him more in Dune Part 2, as we kind of see a little bit more betrayed by his father with his nephew that he really detests. Really did not like Zendaya in this movie. I don't think she's really meant for this movie. I think they should have done a much more better casting with Zendaya's character. I don't know if it's just she's not a great actress. She's a decent actress. Her characters are just cocky and phony. I wish she did a little bit better in the movie, but that is my honest opinion. You guys may say that she was great in it, but I don't think she was really that great in Dune Part 2. Josh Brolin was so great in it. He was just, out of all words, really great. Every aspect of the movie was absolutely amazing. Cinematography. Let's talk about the cinematography. That deserves a Oscar win too. That, my gosh. Talk about great visual effects. It was amazing. I loved it so very much. But that is my honest opinion, guys, about the Dune movies. Let me know what you guys thought of this review, and if I made some mistakes, let me know in the comments. But if you are new to the channel and watching this, I would appreciate if you gave this video a like, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel. And also, I'll be mentioning this, that we have Instagram and Facebook. And with that being said, everybody, thank you guys again for watching the Dune review, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.